Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, David Morrell versus Imam Khataev, 10-round war. Great fight, thoroughly enjoyed it throughout. Great moments of action. A knockdown in favour of Imam Khataev. Khataev really kind of upped his levels in this fight. This was a big step up for him. And for me, he did more than enough. But judges ruled this fight a split decision in favour of David Morrell. I have to be honest, I think this one is a stonewall robbery, quite frankly. I don't see how David Morrell won that fight. And I picked David Morrell to win this one as well. I felt his experience would be a bit too much. His height and reach, his speed, explosiveness, etc. I felt it would be a bit too much, especially as this fight went on. Khataev is a heavy-handed guy, puts a lot into his shots. A very strenuous type of style to maintain over a long distance. And I kind of felt prior to the fight happening, I kind of felt the longer it went, the more it favoured Morrell. And to a degree that happened. Morrell, I did feel finished the fight stronger. But he, early on, he had such a bad start to this fight. First half of this fight, I felt Khataev boxed really well. Despite him having that hands down style, he made it work. A lot of front foot feints from Imam Khataev. The speed of Khataev's counters was very impressive throughout this fight. When he punched with David Morrell, he was countering Morrell so effectively with his right hand. Sometimes he would counter with a left hook to the body. Not so many left hooks to the head, but a lot of left hooks to the body, sort of chopping overhand rights around the side to the head. Great countering from Khataev early on. He was pushing the pace, he was pushing Morrell back. Not only was he answering to Morrell when Morrell threw his own punches, but he was initiating attacks, working the body well early on, picking the harder shots, landing more shots, more output. And quite frankly, after 5 rounds, I felt he swept 5 rounds. First round was pretty close. Khataev started the round really well, opened up with a combination that culminated to some shots to the body. Morrell had a great middle of round 1. Boxing behind the jab, firing the straight left out of a southpaw stance. But Khataev finished the round really strong. Round 1 was close, but I still felt Khataev won it. Rounds 2 and 3, I felt Khataev was walking down David Morrell, quite frankly, landing the better shots, again, working the body. Morrell would answer with his own work, with his, some great right hooks out of a southpaw stance, some good straight lefts, some decent body work of his own accords. But for me, he was just being outworked. Similar in round 4. Round 5, Morrell actually had a great round up until the end. Some really good bodywork from Morrell in round 5, and it looked like Khataev was tiring. He's got the hands down style, but he was breathing heavy. His body language signalled a guy who was tired. But in round 5, despite Morrell having a great round and boxing well and picking his shots, Khataev lands an overhand right as Morrell was backing out of the pocket. Overhand right, bang on the chin, down goes Morrell. So after 5 rounds, I felt Khataev basically swept it, plus a 10-8 round. Second half of this fight was a lot more, Morrell was in it a lot more. It was give and take for rounds 6, 7, and 8, in my opinion. Very much give and take. The output dropped from Khataev, I felt it dropped. Morrell was still a bit, not gun-shy, but he wasn't going through the gears like I was expecting to. He was throwing combinations here and there, hard shots here and there, but he wasn't taking advantage really of Khataev's lower output in the second half, as he should have in my opinion. Khataev was still trying to walk him down. He was still applying the pressure. He was still pushing the fight. He was still forcing the fight. He was still, in a sense, the ring general, I thought. So yeah, around 6, 7, and 8 were pretty tight, pretty close, I guess. But even then, did Khataev lose all of those rounds? I don't think so, personally. I really don't. Rounds 9 and 10, Morrell came back really well. Had a good round 9, opened up with combinations. He mixed it well from body to head, some really good right hooks from the southpaw stance to, again, body and head. The straight left was looking better. And he was putting his shots together, Morrell, in round 9. Round 10, though, like, even more so. Both guys, it was a tit-for-tat round for like a minute or so. Then I felt Morrell started to take over. Just having a bit more in the tank, it looked like. And he finished the round really strong. He caught Imam Khataev with a straight left hand, which buzzed him towards the end of round 10. I think it buzzed Khataev. Khataev tried to throw back, but Morrell maintained his space and threw his own shots, trying to overwhelm Khataev. He was landing some great combinations. And he finished the round really strong, David Morrell. He finished the fight really strong. And if it was a 12-rounder, maybe you favour Morrell because Khataev was kind of struggling towards the end of round 10. But it was a 10-rounder. And round by round, I have to be honest, I don't think there's a case in which Morrell won this fight. I just don't think you can give this guy 6 rounds in this bout. I don't see it. I really, really don't see it. This one's a robbery. And it's a shame because the fight was so good. Khataev really kind of showed up. He proved himself to be better than I thought he was. Still needs to improve his gas tank, I'd say. But he showed some really good things in there. Some really good feints. Some good counters. Some good composure in the exchanges. Surprisingly good hand speed. Don't get me wrong. I knew Khataev's hand speed was decent, but like Morrell's got quick hands, and there were a lot of moments in the first half of this fight where Khataev was beating Morrell to the punch. But it was a really good fight. Morrell showed some good guts, some bravery, because he was losing this fight going into the last 2, and he finished the last 2 really strong. But I still don't think it was enough. I really don't. I think this was a horrid decision, kind of like Robbery of the Year contender decision. I think it was that bad. I really do. And again, I picked Morrell to win this one, so it is what it is. So, yeah. Shame. A really good fight got ruined by a bad decision, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.